Al Franken is coming to speak at the West Virginia Jefferson-Jackson Day dinner on August the 6th. I like Al Franken. He shouldn't come here. Because, you see, the Democratic Party in West Virginia is like the Republican Party in West Virginia, a wholly owned subsidiary of the coal industry. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Here in West Virginia, we do not have Democrats and Republicans. We have coalocrats and coalicans. Al Franken, Senator Al Franken, needs to get, and I know we've got a number of listeners in Minnesota, Senator Franken needs to get a lot of letters and emails and phone calls telling him to do one of two things. One, cancel his appearance in West Virginia because he cannot be seen to be propping up this wholly corrupt state and its political organization. Or, and frankly, I would prefer this, to stand there at the podium and deliver a Jeremiad against mountaintop removal mining that will leave them stunned. We don't need good liberals or progressives coming here and giving the imprimatur of approval to West Virginia's Democratic Party. And I say that, understand, please, as a registered Democrat. I've never been a registered anything else. I've never, to the best of my knowledge, voted for a Republican in my life. I can't imagine voting for one anytime soon. But I also live in a world that is driven by reality. There are a lot of liberals and progressives in this state. We have a little trouble organizing, though. But that's because we're liberal, progressive, whatever. And they will all tell you, almost to a person, that the Democratic Party is in Cole's pocket. I mean, consider Representative Nick Joe Rahal, one of the leaders of the Democratic contingent in this state, a man who has served in the House of Representatives for way more than 30 years, is actively trying to destroy the Environmental Protection Agency and the Clean Water Act. Now, why in God's name would Al Franken lend credibility to that kind of a Democratic Party? So here's the ask. Here's the request. Call or email or both Senator Franken's office. Very politely tell him what's going on in Appalachia and what he will be tacitly approving by his appearance on August the 6th at the JJ dinner in Charleston, West Virginia. I can't imagine that his conscience will allow him to tacitly approve of the ongoing killing of innocents that is taking place here. And make no mistake, it is taking place here. Some of you who have been in the chat room for a long, long time know our good friend Nanette. I was just talking to her a couple of days ago. She just got done burying another neighbor and relative. Lung cancer. Took him quick. And it's lung, and it's brain, and it's liver, and spine, and pancreas. Everything gets lit up by the filth and the toxins that permeate the very essence of life itself around here. Senator Al Franken needs to know this. He needs to know what he's coming into. Can you help? Can you help? Please, can you help? Call or email Senator Franken's office, especially if you're in Minnesota, if you are one of his constituents, and say, mountaintop removal in Appalachia matters to me because Appalachian people are Americans too, and I don't want my senator going down there and giving the stamp of approval to a party that is owned by an industry that is killing people. Can you do that? If you are in Minnesota or have Minnesota contacts, can you please try to get something started up there and tell your friends and neighbors that Al Franken doesn't need to come here and give the veneer of legitimacy to a state party operation and apparatus that is entirely corrupted by an industry that is killing people? Please, can you do that? I will tell you anything you need to know. I will work with you. I will help you. I would gladly talk to whatever that progressive radio station is in Minneapolis to get them to understand, to get Minnesotans to understand that when their senator comes here, well, look, it would be like, oh, I don't know. To what can you compare it? It would be like having Dr. King step up and stand in the schoolhouse door with George Wallace. That's the kind of filth and corruption we have here. If Al Franken's going to come here, Al Franken needs to come here and begin an intervention. What do you think? Is this something you can do? Now, if you just act as an individual, you will have the effect of an individual. But if you start calling people and telling people what's up, and you build this thing, then your voice will be heard. And perhaps Senator Franken will find out that he has other priorities besides propping up killers. Killers! Because the coal industry is not just right-wing Republicans in this state. They're Democrats, too. Can you do that? Will you do that? Please? Can we build a little movement to do that? Please? I'd love it if you would let me know. Email, phone, whatever. I'd love it if you would let me know.